Greetings to one and all, it's your old buddy Jay here, coming at you with another episode of Countermeasures J Play. Is everything recording? Yeah, I think we're in business. Welcome! I haven't done one of these reviews for a little while, like this. I'm usually just kind of like playing, or I'll play through the whole thing and then do a review at the end. On this particular one, obviously I can't play any more of this game because it was just the beta for the PS5 and other platforms. But I played this at the PS5 at the weekend. Had a blast for a couple of days, but I didn't actually get a chance to kind of talk about my gameplay or anything that I was doing while I was playing the game because I was having too much fun, and quite frankly I just thought I'll record some stuff and then I'll just talk over it a little bit and just chuck the gameplay up there. Just get it out there. So what is this game? This game is an extraction shooter. It is called Ark Raiders. So I'd heard a little bit about this game in various forums and various podcasts, and basically I never really got into Tarkov. I did buy it on the PC and I played for a little while. I kind of dropped off after about 10 hours. I enjoyed my time with it, but it wasn't something that I could keep coming back to. I know a lot of people got really into it. Some people got so into it that when I did go in and sort of play for like half an hour, whatever, I would get absolutely destroyed, and then there was loads of cheating going on, and I haven't got time for any of that business. So I just kind of dropped off. And then my opinion of looter shooters that you then have to extract, these extraction shooters, it kind of dropped off. The best part of the Division for me was the actual campaign and running around the city doing your missions. When you went into the Dark Zone, I think it was the Dark Zone, that's what I want to call it anyway, where it was like PvP, I lost interest in that because my casual drop in, drop out on that particular part of the game meant that I wasn't dedicating enough time, and when I did go in I'd just get absolutely whipped. All my stuff would get stolen. It wasn't an enjoyable experience. You had to be pretty high level, even if you've been putting time in like a normal person. You're never going to beat the amount of time that some crazy kid who's just doing nothing but this for like his whole summer holiday is ever gonna, you're ever gonna compete. So your weapons versus his or her weapons, not a chance. You get kicked every time. Not kicked out, I meant kicked in the head. Basically, that kind of put me off looter shooters or extraction shooters. Until Ark Raiders came out, and then I kind of thought, oh well, this looks fine because the playing field's pretty level. It's a post-apocalyptic world, which I always love a bit of post-apocalypse. It's third person, which is a big deal for me because I like to be able to see my character. I like first-person things, but only really for shooters like Battlefield 6 and Call of Duty. For other things, I tend to drop off if it's all sort of first person. I'm less interested in that, if I'm completely honest. I like to be able to see my characters, so any third person shooter, I'd be, Nathan Drake's my man. I was well into all the Uncharted series. Obviously, The Last of Us. Real Naughty Dog fan here. So when I saw when I heard of this game, before I'd seen any of the gameplay, I thought it was fine. Then I saw some of the branding, and I actually think the branding isn't a very good indicator for the kind of game you're going to be playing. It felt like, there's a kind of neon 80s feel to it, which I think, while it is unique in the collective that is the extraction shooter, it will stand out among that crowd as being a different branded look. I don't think it really portrays the game very well. So when I saw that, I thought, great, vibrant colours. I immediately thought like Fortnite. I immediately thought like, oh, it's going to be like a kind of not a very realistic take on extraction shooters. I thought it was going to be something that was a little bit more sort of throwaway and a bit arcadey, and actually it turns out it's not that at all. What it is a very kind of gritty, dark, dark on all levels, dark on screen, but also a sort of take on the world which is slightly twisted. It's the Terminator, essentially. You've got the world run by machines. You live in the depths, in the basement. You live in the gutters. You live underground, and you come up for supplies. And you're a raider, and everybody else around you is a raider. And there are places where you can pop up, do some raiding, and then pop back down again. And that's basically what the beta was. It was a section of the game where you could do just that. So as you can see here. There's like blown out cars, there's wind, there's some pretty good lighting effects. This is essentially just the demo part at the start where it's showing you how to use your inventory and showing the kinds of things you can pick up. I instantly didn't have enough room in my backpack, so that's always the way it is. Now I'm going to read a little bit about the setting from Wikipedia, which I have here. So basically, Arc Raiders is an upcoming third-person extraction shooter which is developed by Embark Studios for PlayStation 5, Windows, and the Xbox Series X, also known as My Doorstop. Now, the gameplay is PvPvE, which is player versus environment, and can be played in teams of 3, 2, or more importantly, 1, and that's what it's all about. I'm a solo player. When I'm with teams and we're having a laugh, that's fine. But I like to play by myself, take my time, explore the areas, see all the stuff that these games have to offer. Too many times am I locked into games where if I'm not running at high speed through environments to get to the next part, I'm not being able to keep up with my team, I'm getting left behind. I'm a slow, methodical player. I like to look around, as you can see here. I like to do a bit of exploring. And I instantly liked this game. I also felt that I didn't want to play too much of it. I think, actually, over the course of the weekend, I didn't play loads. I played, quality time, I played about an hour, which isn't very long at all. But I knew in the first 5 minutes that I was going to buy it and that I was going to download it and play it on the 30th of October, I believe. So, continuing on with Wikipedia, Arc Raiders takes place in a distant future on Earth, where mysterious and deadly Arc robots have taken over the surface, forcing humanity to live underground. Some residents of the underground city of Speranza, known as Raiders, choose to go above ground, also known as the topside, to collect resources to sell. So yeah, there's a whole kind of like selling mechanic thing going on here, where you collect trash essentially, and you go back down underground and you sell that trash to people that are desperate to carry on surviving, and they'll do anything for a frying pan. So you'll get, $1 or whatever the currency is, and then you can use that to then upgrade your character to do more raiding. And you get like a section of the base. There's like a kind of at some point this will pop up on screen because it does allow you to go there in this demo, where you can you'll see you've got like your own little environment. There's like an underground city. There are people that you can talk to, so there's a kind of a little bit of a there's an element of RPG to it, I guess. So yeah, again, one of the favourite things I liked about the Last of Us series was opening little drawers, pulling out things that I could, upgrade my weapons with, maybe finding cosmetics, things like that. Now, at the time this beta went up, obviously there were no elements in the actual game that allowed you to buy anything. And usually with an extraction shooter, they tend to be free, and then where you get diddled is buying stuff from the shop. Now, this game, I believe, is like 40 or maybe £50 in the UK, and I believe that that's fine, as long as I get £50 worth of stuff, right? If in 2 months' time this is just free, I'm going to be really annoyed and want my money back, but if I get £50, so like that was with like some extra things where you get like a cowboy hat or whatever. I don't know, you get some extra cosmetics. I don't mind the shop being just cosmetics. But if it becomes pay to win, then I'm out. So so far it's looking fine. I do think that that kind of initial price point is a little high. You know, if it was sort of more like £20, I think people would be happier. These kind of games have been free. I mean, Tarkov isn't, but some other, you know, other games have been. You know, maybe it's got a little bit more of a hill to climb, but I'm hoping that in receiving money for this game, they might actually use that in a way that's going to give us some interesting DLC, etc. So as you can see here, I just got taken out by some other players, but it wasn't. It was obviously a scripted moment to take everything that I just found, just to take it off me. And they're explaining that, you know, so yeah, so you've got your torch, you've got weapons. When you do get robbed, I don't believe when another player can knock you unconscious. They don't have to kill you. So that's interesting. So I don't mind that so much. I do find in these games that sometimes when I'm, you know, when I'm running around and playing, and maybe I have to fight somebody else, I don't always want to kill them. But you are forced into a situation where actually you're not given much of a choice, so you should just get on with it. So having to kill somebody becomes part of the game, and then you become a murderer. I actually like games where you don't have to kill anybody. So, for example, I'll always use the example of, oh god, Watch Dogs 2. You could go through that whole game just using the taser. I think there's only one instance in the whole game where you actually have to kill somebody to complete a mission, which is where you're escaping like a server room, and I believe somebody has to get shot in order for the story to progress, and that's part of the story. But for the rest of the game, you can just go through the whole thing tasing people. So as soon as I got the taser in that game, that's exactly what I did. I don't want to kill anybody. I want to live a nice, peaceful life. If people deserve to die, if they do something horrendous, then okay, fine, that's different. That's a conversation that you can have. But if it's just someone I'm just nicking their stuff, or if it's just, you know, if it's an environment where I'm faced with a combat situation where maybe I don't want to kill that person, I'm not going to kill them, unless they deserve it. So, you know, this game gives you the option to knock people out. I think this guy's knocked out. Look, this is me trying to hit him with a hammer, despite the fact I just said I didn't want to kill anyone. But you got to test your boundaries. Anyway, he was unconscious, and there is the danger of that person waking up. So I believe that, like, you can be knocked out for a certain amount of time, people can loot your stuff, but then I think you can wake up during mid-loot and then have another kind of set to. And again, if someone knocks me out and takes my stuff, and I'm laying there and I wake up while they're taking it, I'm going to murder everybody, just to be clear. So my moral compass is all over the place. But if I don't have to kill someone, generally I'll not. So here you can see that there are drones flying around. I think there's different kinds of ARC robots that have taken over the world. There's like a great big massive spider one that I think we saw at the beginning, like a big sort of shadow of him. And then there's all these other ones where they can do mad stuff like jumping up in the sky and doing all this crazy stuff. So as much as it is grounded and real, you know, you can jump and roll and you can duck and hide. You know, you're not flying anywhere yet. I haven't seen any jetpacks on anyone. But the robots can do things that robots, you know, could potentially be designed to do, like jumping and, you know, being particularly mean in fights and having lasers and all that kind of stuff. So here they want you to kind of have a combat scenario where you're fighting a robot. And you can take them out with your gun as well. I did see a few bugs where in some gameplay online where basically people were having real problems taking them out. Bugging again. I don't think that was anything to do with the actual setup of the robots themselves. I believe in this scenario I do take it. But yeah, so the idea is you take him, you call the lift up. So that thing that he's kind of flying over at the moment is a giant lift. And basically that's all. And you have to call it and wait for it, and then obviously in the moment that you're waiting, that's when it's the most tense, because you've picked up all your junk, you've got your banana skins and rubber ducks and all that crap, and you're sitting there waiting for the lift to come up, and at that moment the robots can get you, but more likely the thing that's going to annoy me the most are little campers that like to sit by the lift and then while you're there, they jump out and they take all your stuff because they haven't bothered to play all the other stuff. They just sit there and they farm your backpack. So I guess you've got to get yourself pretty resilient and know that that combat scenario is going to happen at the end. Yeah, and I think that's fine. I wonder how long that's going to take to annoy me. I think it's fine. I don't mind as long as I stand a fighting chance of defending myself. It's when, you know, I'm a guy with a little pistol and then there's like 12 people that have just got shotguns and then you're done. Actually, I think it's only teams of 3, but technically I guess you could team up with other teams if you wanted to get everyone together. Anyway, yes, I did really enjoy my time with it. I think it's well put together. The mechanics work. The shooting feels really good. The different guns that you can get, like the pistol and rifle to start off with, they feel like kind of junk models. You know, and what I've seen of it so far, I mean, obviously you want the demo to showcase the best of what it can do. You know, the telemetric fog or whatever they call it, and all of that stuff, a bit of environmental storytelling, all of that stuff is in the game as you'd expect it to be. I'm interested to see a little bit more of what your home base is like, and also, you know, what you can do with the materials that you're finding, and how that then translates back into you being out in the world, being a raider. And also, you know, in what I noticed in the backpack here is there is a pocket that you can put stuff in. You can put one item in that cannot be taken off you, which I think is a really good idea. So if you find one thing like a quest item, imagine if you were trying to find a quest item and again you just kept getting somebody, you know, kept bamboozling you at the end. That would become quite frustrating. So look here, safe pocket. So I'm wondering if, you know, maybe if it's a quest item that you don't want to be stolen, you can put it in there. Maybe if it's a gun that you particularly don't want to lose, so everything else can get taken off you if people want it, but the safe pocket cannot be taken. I think that's a very nice idea, because how many times I've woken up in Tarkov with just my pants on and all of my stuff's been stolen. It's just not fun, like the 12th time. So if there is a way to sort of circumnavigate that, then I'm all for it. Anyway, I am looking forward to playing this game. I am going to be streaming a little bit more of it. This is about an hour-long gameplay that I've recorded here. And I hope you enjoy it. I've talked enough. I would recommend downloading it. Would I recommend? Let me think about that again. I would recommend downloading it if this is your kind of game. If you just want to try it out, I would wait about a month, because it's definitely going to be on sale at some point. And if you're really not interested, you've got a big back game, you know, game catalogue that's sitting on your shelf, virtual shelf, waiting to be played. Go and do something else for a bit. Come back in a year, and this will be free, I guarantee. That's all for now. So thanks very much for listening, watching, and all that. Until next time, be good, stay safe, and be kind to one another. Peace out. We gone. Ow, ow.
You're not supposed to use this elevator. Lucky for you, I'll make an exception. Wait a second.
This elevator has been out of the commission.
Security to the slingshot in Sector G. We have a possible intruder in the tubes. Repeat, possible intruder.
When the elevator stops, exit with your hands raised. I cannot let you in until you show your face. How'd you make it here by yourself? Who are you?
The medical clinic is running on fumes. Try not to get hurt.
That bed down here in Speranza sure beats sleeping outside, but it's getting pretty crowded.
Up topside, clean hands don't get the work done. The Raiders don't seem to mind. Everything has a price, and it's always higher than you think.
1,358 days to make a beautiful...
Raiders may not follow orders, but they'll follow a bounty if it's high enough.
I wouldn't worry about other raiders that much. I would worry about Ark. Something's going on.
A lot of people down here in Speranza lean on raiders to get through the day. If you want in on the fun, just head up to level 4. The tubes there will take you all the way to Berry City.
Okay, here we are. This room is the best I can do for you now. It's a dump, I know, but you'll learn to love it, I'm sure. Come see me when you're settled in. The storm has mostly settled. We'll need plenty of materials for repairs. I'll mark some good loop spots on your map. Head up there and see what you can find.
Heads up, Raider. The dust from that storm is still settling down. Ark seems to be just as disoriented as we are, and most Raiders are holding off on going topside for a little while longer. Don't forget that you can find different types of loot in different locations. Check out your map and head to any of the spots I've marked with an icon.
Sure.
stuff over here. Searching for loot here.
Some shotgun ammo.
Avoid this spot. Don't go here. Avoid this spot. Don't go here. Battery. Over here. Found a spot. Over here. Go to the control tower. down there. Surveyor, down there. Head home at the water treatment elevator. Head home at the Red Lake balcony lift. Head home at the Red Lake balcony lift. Appreciated.
Thanks.
An ARC orbiter is en route. The safe window is closing. You have 10 minutes to return to Esperanza. I repeat, 10 minutes. All raiders, get on board. Go find a way home. Everything will be fine.